This is session 9 of our regular bi-weekly Friday night games, D&D fights, at D&D Badgers. So tonight we have 6 players with us. There's 2 people who can't make it. So we've got Ross, who will be joining us again. He's playing Arctus, the wandering bard who the party discovered in the in-between last session. Lauren playing Druid Noella. We have Josh as the half-elf Malor, world-renowned mining expert with a specialisation in pizza ordering. We have Dave returning as the now two-legged Kingsman, the extra fast, dexterous Kingsman. We have Pete returning from one session absence. He'll be running this week as the agent after Axel's disappearance. And Sarah also returns after her one session miss, playing as Agatha. Not joining us tonight is Jeff and Tarif. So Tarif is away at work, so Josh will be running Swido, and Jeff is enjoying his birthday. Not enjoying his birthday here, obviously.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday! And so Pete, who doesn't know this yet, will be playing Lobo.
Yeah! just know that.
No. So yeah, happy birthday. Okay, so a quick recap on what happened last time. So after successfully finding the blue kyber stash in the Sahagwin's temple, you went away. Returned to the Maker, and after a 2-day downtime, which you all did various different things, one of you in particular made excellent use of the time, and after you waited for Kingsman's leg to be fabricated, you worked on solving the portal puzzle. So you returned to the temple, a little bit of trial and error, a little bit of mistakes, a little bit of damage taken, but mainly you solved the puzzle without any major mishaps. The portal activated and you passed through into the in-between, where you discovered Arctus. So Arctus was squaring off against a water elemental, and that elemental seemed to be guarding some sort of portal at the back of the room that led into this underwater scene. And there seemed to be some sort of battle of wills almost going on between the portal to the underwater realm and the large blue kyber crystal that was in that room. The large blue kyber crystal was going on in that room. So battle ensued. You fought the water elemental. You helped Arctus out. You defeated it, and upon defeating the water elemental, the portal gained the upper hand in that battle of wills. Massive arcs of energy flew off into the room, and the room started to slowly destroy itself. Arctus discovered that there was a seam within the blue kyber crystal itself and managed to escape that way after seeing flashes of the city of Sharn, and as you looked into it, you saw brief flashes of your approach to the city on that first dawn morning in session 1. So eventually you all made your way through the crystal, dodging various falling rocks and getting knocked over by waves being produced as the ceiling collapsed. So you all made it safely through, only to discover and find yourselves back at the Death's Head Guild in Sharn itself, at the 3rd stage of your combat sequence of the interview process. However, some notable absences. Axel had disappeared, but you had been joined by Agatha and Arctus, who weren't there previously. In another switch to what had happened before, in this sort of time travel sequence where you went back to square one, a Hydra suddenly appeared from the floor after some loud mechanical noises coming off from the background, which you successfully, thanks to me completely misreading the rules about how many heads needed to grow back on Hydra, you successfully defeated the Hydra, surviving that battle, where you were then joined by the agent who turned up. Again, in a change to what happened in session 1, you weren't then carted off to the Goblin Village to prove your prowess at stealth, which we all know is diabolical. The agent just fast forwarded through that whole element and decided that if you can beat a Hydra, then that's good enough for him. Took you off to the compound to meet up with the mysterious Benefactor for the first time for the second time. And that's where we left last session. You just arrived, and you are in the compound. Just exited from the carriage, and the agent has just scurried off to go and find the benefactor. Is there anything anyone has a burning desire to do at this stage?
Is there any beer?
There is no beer.
Oh, that's disappointing.
We're getting loads of updates from somewhere. Something's beeping.
That's you, isn't it?
It is. We're suddenly getting a lot of Instagram
Activity.
activity on terms of D&D badges, which is great. So thank you everyone who's on Instagram and backed us. Thank you.
And we'll find some way of muting Dave's.
Dave's notifications.
In the meantime,
Thank you for on
bear
Instagram.
with it.
Yeah, please bear with Dave. He's obviously playing and running OBS and making sure the live stream's up and stuff like that. So he has a lot going on, as well as trying to concentrate on what I'm saying.
Did we kill it yet?
And what we're doing. So the agent has scurried off. He has just left you with the carriage, whereas previously you were all escorted off to the benefactor's office. So if you want to do anything, you can. Otherwise, we'll just jump forward to what happens next.
Have we taken a long rest?
You have not taken a long rest. You had the opportunity to take a short rest in the carriage right here, if you remember.
We ended
yeah,
up.
which I did.
You all pressed your buttons before we went for a break last session, so that's all done. But no, the opportunity to have a long rest has not yet occurred.
Have you got Lobo?
Have I got Lobo on
Oh.
D&D Beyond? Yes. Are you not able to see him?
Oh, I'm going to update any of this.
No, I can update it. Yeah, that's fine.
I was going to say, can we kind of find a local tavern that might have a room to rent and stay there?
Yes, you don't actually have any idea where you are at the moment
Okay.
because the carriage ride is completely enclosed and
Okay.
you're just in this sort of sealed area at the moment. There are a number of doors off if you wanted to go and explore, but
Okay.
Have we explored this area at all yet?
no.
No.
Yeah.
Is it worth doing that?
We're in ceremony now, I think.
Oh, I was
The
thinking-
carriage still.
I'll have
okay.
a long rest if that's okay.
You can't have a long rest at the moment.
I could cast sleep on him.
That gets around it.
Okay, if there's nothing that you want to do in terms of checking out equipment or anything like that, we'll just fast forward.
Actually, in terms of, but there's nothing around us.
No, it's just and there's a couple of these other flying carriages in this large area. It's just parking chamber, almost like
Okay.
stables, and then there's a number of doors that lead off. You remember from your last visit here, you came in, the carriage landed. You felt that rather than saw it because the carriage is completely enclosed. You got out and then you were immediately led by the agent through a series of winding corridors, past a number of rooms. This is obviously a large building to an office, and it was at the office that you waited for the Benefactor to arrive. That hasn't happened this time. The agent scurried off somewhere, nipping through one of the doors, and just left you to your own devices.
Okay. Something I would like to do at some point is to change out my weapons and armour.
Yep.
So eventually find some full plate mail because I lost mine, and get a hammer rather than an axe.
Yep. So you are obviously now back in charm. So when we get to a point where you've got some ability to travel in your own, you can definitely find a shop. You already know of one shop, one magical item shop that was next to the Death's Head Guild where you stayed on your first night in Sharn. With the little old man and his very, very young wife.
Well, I was thinking of going and visit Spider again.
The machine.
Hmm.
You don't know how to get there.
Okay.
Because again, the agent
taking-
escorted you there in the carriage.
Okay.
What happened to my wand of magic missile? Because I think I remember I might have destroyed it after I shot all of my 7
You
shots.
didn't destroy it, luckily.
Oh, okay.
That's good.
It was just empty. but
Okay.
you rolled and you didn't destroy it.
Excellent. Okay.
You had the
fine.
option of destroying it.
Yeah. I
Really?
think I rolled a
Yeah.
40-something
He
chance. So
he blew all the charges of it in one go against the water elemental,
Yeah.
which has the risk of exploding.
Yeah, turn it to ash.
It didn't happen.
It didn't. He rolled well on the percentile.
But I still need a long rest to fully recharge it. Though,
percentage
don't I?
dice are his
Oh, I
thing.
don't.
So when he was rolling for treasure, we got
Yeah, he did
some-
well, yeah.
Yeah, he managed to avoid doing it. So what happens with one of the magic missiles is every day, so like at the tick of midnight, like
Yeah.
0001, you would roll a d6 plus 1, and that's how many charges you recover.
Okay.
So if you roll well, it will be refilled. If you roll badly, you'll only get 2 charges. It's randomised in that fashion. So
Okay.
worst case, you get 4 days before it's fully charged.
Okay. So as the day passed by the time.
No.
Okay, fine. Okay.
So in terms of time as a recap, it's about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you remember from your previous time of doing this, you didn't actually come to the compound until quite late in the evening because you went down to the Goblin village and you were given the hour to go and retrieve the pocket watch, and
Yeah.
then you had to travel back to the compound. So by the time you got to the compound last time, it was more like 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. And then by the time the Benefactor arrived, then it was getting on for sort of 9, 10 p.m. So you've got quite a large chunk of the day left to go before you get to midnight. So yeah, you're going to be up without your Wand of Magic missiles for a little bit longer.
Can you recap the things that we retrieved from the chest in that dungeon that we rolled for? Because I seem to have forgotten all of the things that
They rolled that, didn't they? Come on, what?
the things that we
The
won
magic
in
items that
the
you rolled.
chest. I think there was like cards of something, but I didn't actually know the specific items they were.
So it was a deck of illusions.
Deck of illusions.
Put it in your inventory.
Yeah. Because I think I did actually identify them all.
You did, yeah.
Okay.
A bag of tricks, grey.
Grey bag. of
Grey,
tricks.
yeah.
Okay. And
A quiver of Alona.
Ah, yes. At the back of them. Deck of cards, grey bag, quiver, wand,
A wand of web.
and a web.
Okay. Okay.
12 kyber crystals.
That was the stash that you gave back to the
Dice
maker.
to make it.
Okay.
There was also a bunch of gold as well, so hopefully you wrote that down.
Did we
'cause I
decide on who gets what of that? Or does anybody want anything in particular of that?
Lobo would like the quiver of Alona because essentially what it does is just allows you to store weapons.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's like
Okay. So that's gone to Lobo.
catnip to Lobo.
But
I think you're safely okay to have the wand of web,
okay.
so I don't think anyone else can use it.
Right. Okay. That goes to me.
You'd have to add that.
And the bag of tricks.
You'd have to add the quiver.
Yeah,
Hero points.
yes.
How many do we have?
It's 3 plus half your level. Is that right?
I got one last week as well, didn't I? An extra.
Cool. I remembered this week.
Would you like a bag of tricks?
Sure.
You can pull an animal from it.
Oh, okay, that'd be good. Yeah,
That
that'd
might
be
be
handy
good
for
for
me.
your druid.
Yep, that'd be great. Thank you.
Is that right? Bag of tricks. I just
agree
searched.
with
I
that.
searched the definition. It says
Yeah,
that-
bag of tricks, and the grey one does certain things. So
Yeah.
it's I think you can pull a wolf out of the grey one.
Yeah, the grey bag of tricks means you can pull out a dire wolf, a
Yeah,
giant elf,
so-
a giant
Oh,
badger, but you
brilliant.
have to roll a d8 for it. So.
Okay, that's fine. I'll put that in my inventory.
Yeah. Okay. So that goes to Noella.
It's his feed's gone to sleep.
Deck of
Bag of
illusions.
bound. Oh, bag of tricks. I can add it.
Okay. So you're sorting all your equipment out, you're having a conversation, and the agent comes back. He looks a little bit more flustered than usual. He's already looking flustered after the Hydra incident. Now he's even more stressed. Okay. It appears the meeting with the Benefactor will have to be delayed. We need to go somewhere else. It seems that he has actually left the compound, which is a little strange because most recently he hasn't been going out much. Anyway, so we need to head off to a tavern. It's the Horsehead Tavern that we need. This is all very strange. You please forgive me. Yes, we came here expecting to have the meeting, and now it's not going to happen. So, if you'll all get back on board, then we'll make our way to the Horsehead Tavern. Please bear with me. Do you have any questions?
No.
It's a matter inconvenience, laddie. See, I did it.
Yes, of course, I completely understand. But but in the end, it's all for your benefit, of course. You've got a chance for some employment, and well, I'm sure there's be riches involved. Although maybe you don't need
Lobo
the
starts
riches.
paying attention.
Yeah, riches. They will say riches.
I'm sure there's great favour to be gained by being associated with my employer. So yes, it's all in your benefit. Anyway, if you could just get back on the carriage, we'll be there in a short while.
Lobo's heard mention of tavern.
And we are going to a tavern.
He's already on the carriage.
And you did ask me. Yes, you did ask me. Just a little while ago if there was beer, and of course, tavern. There'll be beer. Please, sir. Oh, yeah. Please get on the carriage. Make haste. Yes, make haste.
I whisper to the group separately, privately, without letting the guy hear. Should we mention anything about Damien or anything that we've done previously to this fellow?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so you're getting back on board.
Yep.
Okay, so the carriage departs the compound. After about 20 minutes, it sets down again. Sets down in a courtyard in front of quite a not well-to-do establishment, but quite a large building. It's well kept. It doesn't look run down like the inn that you went to previously, the Raven's Lament, where you faced off against Damien. So it's obviously well funded. It may not look particularly well to do, but at least it isn't destitute. So the carriage door opens.
Lobo is out. in the tavern.
And you make your way in. So you're presented with the tap room in front of you. It is completely empty. There is no one here.
Okay. Apart from Lobo at the bar.
Apart from Lobo at the bar, seemingly helping himself.
Well, just to input that, Jeff has sent us a picture because he is celebrating with a beer in his "I would like to rage" goblet tankard.
Brilliant.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Happy birthday, Jeff.
Okay, so bringing that into game mode, Lobo helps himself to an extra large flagon of ale.
Can I have a half-size one?
Which he begins to quaff vigorously before refilling. So the rest of you move into the tap room. Like I say, it is empty. As you'll make your way in, and the door slowly closes behind you, at the top of the stairs appears a human. Slightly round, completely bald.
Dungeon Master from 1980s cartoon.
Not short. Carrying some dishes and various mugs, flagons. They're all empty. So he descends the stairs, turns, look at you. We're closed. Did you not see the sign?
Oh, closed? What is closed?
It's actually really good.
Right?
Yes, closed. I'm surprised you can read. Anyway, what are you doing that bloody ale? Are you paying for that?
Oh, I'm drinking it.
Yes, well you can be paying for it as well. Why are you here?
There's ale. Well, there was ale here, so I come here. I got some ale, and now I'm drinking the ale.
Are you able to pay for this? So
Depends how much it costs.
the agent steps up and puts down a few gold pieces. Don't worry. My employer will cover the costs to a reasonable level, obviously, and gives you a sort of a steely glint eye that the agent can attempt to give Lobo as much as he is able to. Okay. Well, anyway, what do you want? We're not open. We don't open until later. Why are you here?
He brought us here.
Yeah. Who was told to come here?
Yes, I'm afraid that was me. I've been told my employer may be here. Well, this is going to sound frankly odd, but please bear with me. Have you seen a gold casket on legs?
No.
What's
Have
it
we?
worth?
Gold casket.
Come on, let's see the colour of your money. You there with a fancy leg, you must have some coin.
I do, laddie, but it's only my leg.
I'm sure we can melt that down.
Hide my leg over. Turn the stool around.
Come on, what do you want? Or be off with you.
What do we want?
Yeah.
Well,
You don't know.
We don't
As
know.
a-
We just want to find out why we've been
as
here.
I said, is my employer here? If I might have a quiet word with my confederates here, it'd be great. And the agent sort of ushers you over.
This is really good ale.
I apologise once again for the inconvenience, but I've been told that the benefactor is in fact here and he's attending a meeting. It's an odd place to have a meeting. I appreciate, but he is here. Somehow we're gonna have to try and get the information of where the benefactor may be from this guy. I'm afraid I'm all out of loose coin. If you could see your way fit to persuade the gentleman to tell us where the benefactor might be, that would be most helpful. I'm afraid I'm struggling a bit.
Lobo walks up to the guy
Yep.
and he pours the beer over his head, grabs him by the lapel and says, "I'll feed you this tankard sideways unless you tell us."
Okay, roll an intimidation check, please.
21.
Yay, he's intimidated.
You notice tinkling sounds. That
Is that scared?
That isn't just. I rolled a 1. That isn't just caused by the ale that's running down the man's head and dripping off his chin. It's a slightly more pressurised stream than just gravity. I think they're in the back room. Yeah, in the back room. Top of the stairs. Just leave me alone. Put me down. Put me down. Put me down.
Lobo throws him over his shoulder.
You can roll a strength check for me then, please.
Nope.
Okay. So, he pushes him away gently. Okay, so at the top of the stairs, there is a door that's open, leads off somewhere, you don't know where. You presume that is leading to the back room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lobo's
Should we all walk up?
Head
Yeah,
right.
so just walk up.
actually,
Yeah.
he goes back, gets himself some more ale, refills,
Okay.
and follows everyone else up.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so you find yourself in a corridor. This is now obviously where the place becomes a little bit seedier. Whereas the front room and the front of the building could be passed off as a tavern. This area, there's obviously something else going on with this bar than it just being a tavern. And as you're walking along the corridor, the agent sort of comes over and starts talking to you. Yes, this is extremely odd. It's extremely odd. This tavern is it's a world-renowned Dream Lily den, and I don't understand. The benefactor is he really just does not go in for this sort of thing at all. I don't understand what's going on. This is all completely out of character for him. We need to speak to him. We really do, and we'll get to the bottom of this. There's something going on. I don't understand. Yes. Let's move on. Let's move on. And Lobo sort of takes a sniff as well, and you see sort of beads of sweat start to appear on his forehead, and he grunts. And if you recall the pipe that he wears around his neck, when he disappeared for his one-shot adventure, you remember him telling you that he came back and the Dream Lily pipe that he was given allows him to set off his rage when he takes the drug. So he's starting to get fired up. Okay, so you move down the corridor until you eventually get to what appears to be a kitchen area. So you've entered from this doorway down here.
This one.
Just get your pointing stick out. So you've come in there. Okay, so you enter the kitchen. There are a few pots and pans boiling away on the hob, but the place is empty. Over here, down this corridor, you can see there are a number of rooms off to one side, and Lobo lets you know that the smell of the Dream Lily is extremely strong when coming from that direction. So you sort of take a guess that
The map is not moving.
it isn't. You're right.
It might have been because of the screensaver kicked in or something.
Yeah. Okay, I'll reload during the break or something for the next one. So you presume that these rooms are used by purveyors of the drug to go and partake. There are sounds coming from those rooms, not particularly loud sounds, a few whimpers and sounds of snoring, that sort of thing. So they are occupied. The room otherwise seems generally empty. As you move down that corridor, you can see immediately on the left, so at this location here, there is a door that opens up onto a landing. You can see some stairs going down. Which way do you want to go?
Should we investigate?
What sounds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So is your boss maybe here using the drugs or what?
No. So, like I say, that's completely out of character. Completely out of character. He would never touch such a substance. He really, just detests the whole idea of the drug and dependencies. He's very, very, very strong-willed. Very strong-willed. I can't see any way that he would be involved in any of this. There's obviously something else going. It's completely irregular, and so out of character. So out of character.
Can Malor hear anything from from the landing outside? As in anything going on in this particular area there from the
Make
landing?
Perception check.
And also, do I believe the agent?
Roll a perception check.
9 for perception.
You don't hear anything.
Okay.
4 on perception.
You don't believe he is trying to mislead you.
I like the idea of potentially looking inside the area before we go into the next one. As in this general area here, just to see if there's anything that we might be able to
The
find.
kitchen.
Okay, I mean, if you walk
Yeah,
out onto the landing, you will be able to see down into the room.
Okay.
It's not
Yeah.
it's not a closed space. It's an open staircase, and then obviously all the boxes and that piled up downstairs.
Swido heads towards the doorway and onto the landing to have a look.
Okay, you want to move in for me, please?
Thank you.
Where do you want him to go? Over there?
Just about there, I think.
Okay, so he looks down into the room. It is a storeroom, as you can see. There's lots and lots of kegs, which you presume contains ale. Some storage boxes, which you presume contains food and dry goods, or may even contain huge quantities of Dream Lily leaf. It is a typical storeroom. You do, however, see off to the left-hand side the open door here.
Mm-hmm.
This blue light that shines out, which is a little bit odd and incongruent with the rest of the area. And there is a steady stream of smoke coming out of the doorway. A familiar yellow ochre coloured smoke.
As Swidow, I head back to the group and says, "On landing, see smoke. Come." I feel like an Indian chief or something.
I hope he watches his back. Yeah.
Agatha will go down and have a look.
Okay.
I'll stay in this kitchen area, have a rummage around,
Okay.
see what I can find.
Roll a search check for me, please.
Dum, 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 dum. Ooh. 18.
Okay, so there are pots and pans on the go. They all seem to contain leaves in various colours in different states of being boiled.
Okay.
So there's one pot that contains green leaves,
Mm-hmm.
and as the water boils, it slowly leaches out the green from the leaf, and the water becomes green. And then in the next pot, you can see where those previously green leaves and they're now sort of a brownish grey colour being boiled again. And then lastly, that sort of mulch paste is being dried in
Is there different smells coming from each pot?
yeah, and the smell sort of intensifies. So when you get to the last one, it's very reminiscent of the overall smell of the corridor, and particularly now when you're in this room, standing adjacent to those rooms in the carpeted corridor, of the smoke.
Does
So-
it smell like anything in particular? Is it thick tobacco, cigar
Well,
smell?
you're not particularly familiar with
Does
the smell
Lobo
of green
recognise
lily,
it?
but Lobo is,
Could
and
I
he
use
he
a-
identifies the smell of those leaves, and particularly what's in the last saucepan that's being dried out as dream lily.
Okay.
So this is some sort of processing plant.
Okay, so we know they're sort of dream leaves then, because I think I could do a nature check to kind of investigate, but if we know there's that, then there's no point.
Swidow heads down the stairs and to the doorway and has a peek through.
Okie dokie. Right, so if you can put that in the room for me. There is a table in the room, and I haven't painted mine yet, otherwise I'd put one out. But in the centre room there is a table. Sat next to the table is a goldy coloured coffin-like device that you recognise as the Benefactor.
Yes.
Sat atop the table is a brazier, so I guess for ease of explaining, it's a hooker. Or a shisha pipe. Just realised that came out of me. And the cable that's coming off of the water part of it is connected directly into the palanquin of the Benefactor. There is a steady stream of smoke passing through the brazier, passing through the water, into the palanquin, and then being discharged through the vents. So the smoke that's being discharged through the vents has that ochre colour as it did before, and it also has that distinctive disinfected type smell that I explained previously. Okay, so any trace of what is obviously dream lily going through this hooker into the palanquin is being stored inside. So the person inside is as high as a kite.
So the Benefactor is in a gold coffin on legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You weren't here for that session, were
No.
you?
Oh, and yeah,
No.
because I remember that.
I don't remember this part
I
of the
don't remember
conversation.
this.
because
He
I
came
was
out
away.
in moves.
You weren't
Oh,
here,
okay.
so,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so recap for you two. In session 2, when you met the Benefactor last time, he turned up in a palanquin, or so like would be a chair, would normally be carried round by slaves with 2 poles, except this one had its own set of articulated legs, so it moved around independently. And then to talk to the group, there was like an arm that popped out with a little projector on it. So this yellow ochre smoke came out of one of the vents on this arm, and it projected an image of a sort of a middle to late age gentleman,
Okay.
very wise and sort of wearing glasses, and he matched the image that was on the office portrait.
With you. Okay.
So although you don't know who this person is, you have seen them.
Okay.
Not physically.
Right. Okay. So I head back with Swidow to the rest of the group and let them know that the Benefactor is in the room
So
with smoke.
likewise, you saw the Benefactor. The Benefactor has seen you.
Oh,
Okay. So yeah, you move back and you let the group know.
oh, okay, fine.
Okay.
Where did the agent go? Or is the agent with us?
The agent is with
Still
you.
in that room.
So I also tell this to the agent as well.
Are you sure, sir? Are you sure?
Man in room.
But are you sure? How would you know it's the Benefactor anyway? You've never seen them before. You know, describe to me the palanquin.
Coffin, gold coffin.
You must be mistaken. No. Let's move down and see for ourselves, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else moving?
Mhm.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to move down the stairs, so if you can move the marker for me out into the.
Oh, okay.
So that I have realised that I should have printed 2 versions of the palanquin.
Okay.
One non-aggressive version, so I don't give the game away.
So this is the aggressive version.
Roll initiative.
We're currently facing off against nothing, so
So
there's
yeah,
nothing there.
so
So
if you can picture in your theatre of the mind a gold palanquin with robotic spider legs,
That
would be
looks angry.
perfect.
okay, great.
I'm giving the agent the most sceptical of looks as we're walking in, just like,
Sir, the Warforged was great. It is you. It is you. You hear a sort of an echoey type of voice come from the palanquin. L'Argent, is that you? You are early. I'm a little confused. What is going on? Why are you here? Sir, I'm afraid, sir, I cut short the interview early because, sir, can we drop the act? Oh, no. If you insist, L'Argent, it was your idea for the act anyway, but, yes, okay. Sir, this is a group that I recommend for the job. They are capable. There is no point in continuing with the stealth trials. Let's face it, that was only another option. We need their combat ability, and they performed particularly well in the arena. Somehow, by mistake, a Hydra was released instead of some hobgoblins, which they easily defeated. What I'm more concerned with, sir, is why are you here? I don't understand. L'Argent, you worry too much. No, this is no good. You must accept that I have a life, and you are not always involved, and you must not always know what is going on. That is just what happens. This is unfortunate, but we shall have to move past. So, you have selected a group, no? Please introduce yourselves.
Lobo leans on the palanquin with his tankard. I'm Lobo.
It moves away with quite some strength.
Chase after it, give the tankard back.
And the rest of you?
I'm Noella.
I am Sweeto.
Deeper voice apparently. But that's
I am Sweeto. I am a Warforged.
Yes. Yes, I could identify that myself.
I'm Malor, half-elf wizard.
Here we go again. Hi, laddie. He hopes to say. Me and me Axel, we're fight for you, laddie. And me gold leg too.
Oui. And you, madam?
I am Agatha. I don't have a high-pitched voice. But I'm a paladin dwarf.
And you, sir?
Arctus of House Madani.
L'Argent. I thought we discussed no dragon marked representatives.
Oh.
And now we have 2. Well, it is unfortunate we're meeting here rather than at my office where we could have explained the situation in more detail. We shall have to suffice with what we have. Please come and make yourselves comfortable. And he moves back into the other room and invites you to be seated.
Okay.
Take
Okay.
it you're moving?
Yep.
Yeah.
Move everybody to room next
Oh,
door.
that one.
Lowe's a bit distrustful of this furniture that moves, so he's keeping hold of his. Standing up,
Okay.
keeping hold of his tankard.
Oh, no, it's fine.
So, we have myself. I shall introduce myself as the Benefactor. You're in player in this endeavour. I shall talk about what the endeavour is in a moment. However, I feel like we need a nom, a name for the group. Now, let us think. What shall we have? Kingsman? Bobo? Melo? Noella? Swiddle, Agatha, Arctus, yes. L'argent, Benefactor, yes. We shall be the Petit Alphabet Gang. I like it.
No.
I'm getting the feeling of deja vu. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm the Irish. I'm getting the feeling of deja vu.
Yeah, me too. It just sounds so familiar.
So, the job. You are aware of the recent plague that has started to appear in Shan.
Yep.
You have seen it yourself or no?
I think Mado's aware of it. I think.
We
Agatha
saw it at the
hasn't.
gates, didn't we?
Okay, so when you was queuing to go in
Yeah.
session 1, you saw the
That's
4 half
the old
orcs
guy,
were in
wasn't it?
front
Yeah,
of
no.
you, the old guy.
Coughing.
They all coughed up
Yeah.
blood and then they were
Oh.
quickly run away by the house beneath guards.
Yep.
So it was all dealt with very quickly. So you are aware of it, and
Mhm.
then Maylor, you're also aware of it from your studies at the university. There's been quite a few cases passed through the medical court there.
I presumably am not.
Nope. This is all outside of your timeline.
Yeah,
your
Agatha
personal
hasn't
timeline.
seen this either.
Agatha
Has she?
would probably have been aware
Mm.
Oh, okay.
because you'd have been in Sharn.
We've heard
around
things
the same
if you
time,
haven't seen
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, so you would be aware. So, this is very concerning personally to me, which is why I am currently encased in this device to keep my personal health tip top. However, for my family, for my house, this is concerning because there are other houses who may profit off of this. House Jurasco, for example, they are rumored to have developed a device, and that device acts as a cure for the plague.
You want us to steal it for you?
L'argent! Yeah, sir. You have been talking to this group in my absence? No, sir. No, of course not, sir. It's as we agreed, we didn't reveal any of the details.
Come on, let's cut a crap.
So how did you know?
Makes sense, doesn't it? There's a thing there. You've put together a gang. You want us to steal it.
Okay. I hope to develop this with more theatre, but okay. Yes, I wish you to steal it. However, it will not be easy. This
It's not
device...
be easy, laddie, because it's going to be on a flying board. Is that what you're talking about?
L'argent! There's no way that these people will have known this detail. You have been talking. Come on, admit it. Sir, I promise you have not said a word. How do you know this? Come on, speak up.
We're just taking a lucky guess.
Intuition.
Make a deception check.
Oh dear. 16.
Explain to me how to deduce that fact. As far as I'm aware, you arrived in Sharn this morning.
And that we did, laddie. This morning, as in your morning, but we've done this morning before.
You're telling me that you somehow travelled back in time?
How would we know the name Damien or Winan?
How would you know that?
Because I didn't know this.
You couldn't remember it when you were trying to be him.
Let me do an intelligence check on that. Actually, I just.
If you remembered it, Josh, that's good enough.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you get a natural 20. If you remembered it, that's something special. This is impossible.
Nothing's impossible, laddie. We have a divine power around us. We can weave magic, make things. Anything's possible.
Also, I would ask you, Agent, if I was with the group that you recruited initially and brought into the arena.
Write me a perception check, please.
Let's go, come.
That's another 4.
Still more. Another 2. He says, yes, of course you were in the group when I let them into the arena. But you know he's lying.
But I was not.
That's a conversation for later. Sorry. So, you're telling me you've done this heist already?
More or
Yes.
less.
We failed.
Well, I've just explained what is to be done. Which?
So, you would like us to go.
I don't know what that doing his accent.
Apart from that,
You need to get yourself into it.
Yeah, I've completely lost it. You would like us to go onto the boat, the flying boat, find something locked away in their vault,
Storm Herald. Fine ship. Not a fail.
Find it, and bring it back to you. However, as you probably know, there's a little booby trap inside. A surprise.
Saboteurs are at work.
No.
Well,
You're-
you can roll a deception check. You're looking a bit squirmy there, laddie.
No.
Have I hit the proverbial nail on the head?
Well,
If I still had my hammer, I certainly would.
you were doing so well to. Yes, of course. I wish you to board the Storm's Herald before its departure, and of course, the name you mention is the person you must impersonate in order to gain access to the vessel. However, I just wish you to steal the device. If through some other means you have triggered something unintentionally, I know nothing about that, obviously. You are just employed to do this one task for me. So would you like to roll a perception check, please? And you all can roll.
24.
18.
21.
9.
20 for male
11.
and a 18 and 4 for widow.
You rolled a 24.
Mm-hmm.
You are not entirely sure
Mm.
whether he is lying or not. Everybody else is convinced that he is telling the truth.
Well, I think you're sod the accent. I think you're convinced you're telling the truth, but it's not the whole truth. I think there's something where you didn't. The first time we did this, I think you left out something. So whatever activated this little surprise, I think you tell us a way that it doesn't activate. And then we happily do this again for you. And we'll get you what you want. Without the boat falling out of the sky.
And us nearly dying in the process.
And I lost a leg because of that. I don't want to lose the other one. I just got this one.
No, you're wrong. There's no other device. There's just the healing device. That is all I need.
What about the ambush?
What ambush?
The ambush. When they ambushed us.
when
You sent a bunch of Iron Men crashing into the ship to tear out the engine, as well as your little surprises.
No, c'est impossible.
Swidow went in vault.
No,
Swidow fell asleep.
no, this is impossible. There is no way you could know.
Well, as I said, we've been there, done that, and in fact we brought this little guy back from the future.
Well, actually, back from the past.
That as well. We're back from the future. Brought you
Forward from the past.
And yeah.
Where's Doc Martin?
What do you want?
But I think, from the sounds of it, the truth.
Yeah. What do you want?
To surprise everyone. Roll initiative.
Oh no.
No!
Yes. I'm going to do so well.
Can you pop that in the marker for me, please?
Ooh, hello.
What is that?
It is not what it appears to be on the card for anybody that knows what that is. So that is
Hello. No!
Whilst they're even on the camera.
Ah!
Oh, okay. So there we go.
So that is actually a picture of a challenge rating 21 creature called a clockwork reliquary that was released in a Pathfinder supplement. It's not that. It's most emphatically not that.
Lobo is raging. He's hard enough not raging.
We're going to roll initiative first.
Yeah, but he's raging.
Four.
Same as me.
12 for me.
4 and a 2. Maydor 4.
Hang on,
Swidow
hang on.
2.
So Noella was
Big
a 4.
rolls.
Yeah, Noella's a 4.
Kingsman was a 4.
Yeah.
Who else was a 4?
We'll go last.
Maydor was a 4. Swidow was a 2.
Lobo.
5.
Awesome. Agatha.
12.
Arctus.
14.
Guess who's going first?
Maybe the enemy?
No. You.
When can I cast Bless?
On your turn.
On my turn, okay.
Okay, you're up. So after Arctus is Agatha, Sarah.
Yeah.
I
Still trying to work
will
out what on earth I can do.
pipe a little tuning note.
Yep.
And then say, I think you should not fight and just tell us everything.
Okay.
And cast suggestion.
Okay.
So wisdom saving throw.
Yeah.
What's the DC of this guy? DC 16.
I failed. So, Arctus, your bard that you picked up in the last session, plays a little ditty on his pipe, and then says an arcane phrase followed by, "Please tell us some more," in his politest enunciation. Agatha, you're up.
Oh, I don't know what this means. Does this mean I've still got to fight it?
So your decision. You could hold an action.
This is
Can I?
not something that you've seen before, which is why I'm still playing
No.
in a combat situation.
Can I talk to it and try to persuade it to tell us some more?
Have you got any magical?
Yes, I have. What have I got? I've got a second level spell that I can cast.
Yep.
Called Zone of Truth. Create a magical zone that guards against deception in a 15-foot radius sphere, centered on a point of your choice in range. Until the spell ends, a creature that enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn must make a charisma saving throw.
Okay.
The affected creature is aware of the. Can this creature talk?
That would affect all of us, wouldn't it?
It
Yes.
would affect all of us.
Everybody in the room, basically.
Yeah, it can talk. So, okay.
It's not a creature, so far as we know. It's a
It's a man in a
person,
box.
a man in a box.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Which is
So
a
it can all
creature.
go thingy.
We like all humanoids are creatures in terms of
Well, yeah,
the
okay.
classification. Well, in terms of the classifications for spells.
Okay, so can I cast this?
Does that mean all of us can't be deceptive and we have to tell the
If
truth?
you-
essentially?
Oh.
You have to make a saving throw.
If you
Okay.
choose, you can choose to fail the
can.
saving throw, or you will have to make the saving
It-
throw to see if you can lie or not.
It does say an affected creature is aware of the spell and can thus avoid answering the questions to which it would normally respond with a lie.
Okay.
So I'll cast Zone of Truth. I don't know what this means. What I have to do to cast it.
It just happens, and then everybody effective make the saving throw.
Okay.
If you tap the spell, it should come up with instructions as well. There you go. So you get
It's
description.
a charisma saving throw, yeah.
Yes, it's a charisma saving throw.
So I don't want to be able to
Someone
not
might see someone sees a poo emoji by the fireplace. Yes, that is true. There is a poo emoji on the fireplace.
Ooh.
What's your spell save?
Do I have to throw it as well?
No, we just need to know what your DC is.
What does that mean?
It will say at the top of the spell.
Charisma 14.
Oh,
Okay.
15.
Lobo passes.
I pass.
I pass.
Oh.
You pass.
Do I have to do it as well?
No.
No,
No.
you're not.
Someone's powerful.
It doesn't affect you because you're the
One.
You can't tell a lie.
But you also don't have to say it. You don't have to say anything.
Yeah, just keep quiet.
We don't failed, but Maylor did.
It's the mix of that.
Okay, so that's the end of your turn. Unless you want to take any actions or move or anything.
No.
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 Okay, so it would have been my go at that stage. Obviously, the suggestion that Arctus made at the top of the round changes this, and we're no longer into combat, so now we go out. The only reason I kept it in combat is because, you know, as characters, you've only been involved in one battle, and this is the first time that Arctus has cast a spell other than Eldritch Blast. So I wanted to see if you were going to do anything that could cause the spell to
If you'd hit him, it would have ended.
Yes. No, I didn't want to because I did something or other, and then it got the hags to attack us. I'm wary of doing that again.
So
You cast detect good and evil.
Yes,
The-
that was it. That's what I did.
the device sort of relaxes back into its previous setting. So what you did start to see at the beginning round is panels open up and arms start to appear, and it was starting to appear as if it had 4 arms. Now it's just gone back to being a normal looking gold coloured coffin. So what do you wish to know?
What are your actual plans?
Okay. Of course.
Roll initiative.
Which villain does not enjoy the monologue?
There you
Anything
like it,
specific you wish to know?
Why did you want to crash the airship with the party on board?
See, this becomes the beginning of a long story.
How long have we got?
We
I
One
wish I got my
which-
battle axe out now.
One which we may wish to continue after we've been for a tea break.
Oh, tension.
To be continued.
So, at this point, we will say, Happy birthday to Jeff.
Oh.
Happy birthday to Jeff. Happy birthday to Jeff. Happy birthday to Jeff.
Oh, okay.
You're firing blanks, Dave.
And we'll be back in 5 minutes after we've cleared all the paper away.
I just sit here and
It was a very long
Yeah.
5 minutes,
Just leave
but
it
we are back now.
We travelled back in time. We're now back.
Okay, so welcome back. Quick recap on before the break because it was a long 5 minutes. So we attempted to move into combat and my cunning plans were foiled by Arctus, who managed to get off a suggestion spell before my turn, which was then followed up by the Zone of Truth that Agatha cast. So we're now in a situation where I am going to be forced reluctantly to answer the group's questions. How would you like to proceed?
I think the question asked just before the break was, what were your plans with attacking the airship while the party was on board?
So, I see many of you before me, and most of you are not of the human race. L'Argent, of course, is human, and the young lady over here, but the rest of you are demi-humans, half humans. I strongly believe that humanity should rule over all races. Part of the plan was to foil the half-elves' monopoly on trade over sea. This would have affected my colleagues in House Orion, as they run the current electric rail route that runs to the north of Seer. You would have done them great damage, and of course all of our houses survive only on their economic prowess, not on their prowess in combat. This was at least part of the plan.
Lobo belches loudly.
Anyone else? You can ask him anything for about the next 8 hours.
Do you know if the thing that you're searching for is actually on
I
that
was about
boat?
to ask that. Yeah.
What thing that I'm searching for?
The cure.
Are you searching for the cure?
Or did you just
No.
make it up? It's
You
never
are
existed.
Wait.
patsies, of course. The vessel was supposed to crash, and you were there to take the blame.
Ah, okay.
Given that fact, did you create the plague?
No. No, that was a convenient coincidence. I have no idea what has caused the plague. I have no concern. It does not affect me in my house. We are virtually untouchable for that sort of thing. But the cure is no concern if it even exists. There are rumours, of course, but I have no interest in it.
Do you know where Axel is?
Who is Axel?
Okay. Axel was one of our party members that joined us on the boat for the last time.
And according to you, this happens in the future. You sure you are from the university?
No. It's an elaborate scheme that I've not really... No,
One of those universities that you just have to pay in.
University of Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just get a diploma.
Do we already know why he travels around in this gold thing?
Could ask him, just ask him.
He's,
Yeah.
I think
Well, I
he's
think
trying to...
Protect himself from the
protect
plague, so he
himself
says,
from
but
the
it could be another reason.
He doesn't care about that. Why do you travel around in this gold thing, the name of which I cannot remember?
Palanquin.
Palanquin.
Not reliquary, as it says on the card. Palanquin. I am not who you think I am.
Who are you?
I don't know who I think you are.
Or at least who he thinks I am. And points at the agent.
Oh. Who
You
are
just-
you then?
Let's
I would-
just say I wish to keep my identity secret for the time being.
Lobo looks at the thing. Are there any obvious handles to open this thing
No.
on the outside? Is there a
Uh,
screw?
Arctus is looking at the agent at the revelation that his boss is not who he thinks he is.
The agent is keeping a somewhat straight face.
We can ask the agent as well, can't we? Because he's also affected by this spell.
Yes,
he
he
doesn't
is
have
affected
to
by the zone of
answer.
truth, not
Yeah.
by my suggestion.
The your accent, is this your real accent?
Which one?
I'm going with the French one.
The geographically confused one. That's a reflection on my ability to French accent more than anything else. At least I'm not Irish Scouse this week.
I thought it was Italian, actually.
It's a bit of both on my theory. Yeah. Anyway, yes. Yes, it is my real accent.
So why do you want the boat to crash? The ship to crash?
The railroad.
Because it weakens the demi-humans, the half-humans. It is part of a wider scheme, shall we say.
How do you plan to sabotage a ship? What was your initial sort of first steps?
Looking for advice.
Okay.
Let's take some notes.
So then it goes to the engine room, but if there's any way we could maybe get to them quicker before they do that, start ripping the
There's
engine
nothing
apart.
on that.
As in the people involved, maybe?
The greatest pinnacle of my house is the construction of the Warforged.
Okay.
One member of my close family decided that the Warforged needed to move in a different direction. He wished to civilize them following the end of the war. Towards the end of the war, he worked to hinder our house's plans to bring victory to Seer. Thanks to his meddling, what it actually brought was destruction of our ancestral homeland. Part of this plan to weaken half-elves was organised with the creature that now resides in Seer and was supposed to be the highest pinnacle of our achievements. You may have heard of him. This is the Lord of Blades.
So your house was responsible for the destruction.
Of sorts. Thanks to my brother's meddling.
Does it hurt you if I pull off one of your legs?
Is the reaction.
I think we pull off his legs.
Do we know anything about his house, who his brother is, and
I can't remember. I'm not sure if we.
You can ask.
Okay, ask.
I don't really know what to ask.
What house are you from?
What house are you from?
I'm from House de Kenneth.
House to Kenneth.
Kenneth.
Kenneth, okay, I thought you meant Kenneth.
Kenneth.
House of Kenneth.
So House de Kenneth carry the mark of the Makers,
Okay.
and they are responsible for the creation of the Warforged race.
Ah, okay. So that's why all the things are Warforged are ripping it apart.
So they were homed in Seer, and obviously they grew to great power during the war because they are the makers of all weapons. They supplied all Warforged, and they also create a lot of potions as well. So a lot of magical art and potions. So they are generally responsible for most of the wares that get sold in magical shops.
Was
At the
that
end of the war, their family took a downturn because the homeland was destroyed. And there's lots of rumours why the homeland was destroyed. Nobody knows exactly why. Sorry, Ross.
was that the house I was investigating for? Yeah, it was.
Yes. Yes. So you were in Seer investigating the rumoured use of blue kyber crystal to create some sort of ultimate weapon.
Yep.
And the weaponisation of blue kyber crystal in general. So you were in the town of Making, village of Making, to investigate the Blue Kyber mine at that location, because rumours were that there were great quantities of this crystal being shipped off to the capital of Seer in order to aid in the construction of this ultimate weapon. So the Lord of Blades is rumoured to dwell within the morning, which was previously Seer. Nobody really knows what he is or who he is, other than this great hulking, war-forged, many arms warrior. It's sort of like the Shrike or the Bogeyman type story. Nobody really believes that it's real or anything like this. It's sort of, if anybody disappears in the morning when they've been to go and try and traverse the place, it's always blamed on the Lord of Blades.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's sort of the general story. But whoever this person is inside the palanquins, then to confirm that the Lord of Blades is real and was somehow complicit in what happened to the vessel.
Okay.
What's the deal with Damien O'Winan? Was he part of the plan, or did he have anything to do with this in general?
Was it just a mark?
Didn't we kill him?
We did, but he's now alive. So, but was he part of the plan? Did you want him eliminated?
So this is where we get into how cunning I am and how manipulative and brilliant a leader. So Damien is a sick and twisted individual. His current interests, shall we say, lie in the dissection of various different creatures, mostly demi-humans, which of course is no bother to me. He has his uses, and when I assumed my brother's position 3 months ago, I needed some way to dispose of him as our plans came to fruition, and the Storm's Herald attack came closer. So Damien, of course, was the first person I contacted. I've used him previously when I wished to be disposing of annoyances, shall we say, and he of course was happy to help. This is why I'm here at this place, to meet him and of course hand over my brother. And of course, this is where the twist in the plan comes real, because part of your mission was to impersonate Damien in order to board the Storm's Herald, which he has a ticket for. And of course, your combat prowess and your aggressiveness would have come to play once you saw the contents of his room and you dealt with his compatriots, shall we say, and you would have obviously destroyed him in the process, which is, shall we say, two birds with one stone as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
What is the question you don't want us to ask you?
What is my name?
What is your name?
Terrier, the Kenneth. And at that point, the agent gasps in shock. So up to this point, he's been completely poker face, and then when he hears this response, it's involuntarily. What do you want to do to their reaction?
I turn around to the agent and say, "Is that your name, laddie?"
No.
Just checking.
Yeah.
Why did
why
the
did-
agent gasp?
Yeah. Why was that your reaction?
It's as it said. It's not the name I was expecting,
Why wasn't you expecting that name?
because it should be Merrick's,
Okay.
the Kenneth.
What is the relationship between
Brother.
Tarrier de Kenneth and Merrick's de Kenneth? Are they
Brother.
Are they
Brother and sister. Merrick's is the head of the house, the Kenneth compound in Sharn.
Yeah.
He's the father of the Warforged. He's the one who champions for their freedom and their adoption into civilized society rather than being seen as warriors and soldiers only.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that champions for peace. He's the one that I believe 3 months ago put himself inside this palanquin over fear of catching the plague. I thought then it was out of character, and now I know why.
Can we ask Taria what happened to Merrick's?
So, from the monologue, she's already said that she was here to hand her brother over to
Right, okay.
She killed
Damien.
him.
So Merrick's has been handed over to Damien.
Disposed of potential. Right. Is he dead? Or we can assume.
I doubt he would survive long in Damien's company.
Okay.
Let's just say that. And at that point, from behind you, where there were piles of barrels and crates, they get pushed out of the way, and entering into the room are two of the familiar clockwork creatures that you've fought previously. And we go into initiative for the second time.
It's all a thunk, thunk, thunk of metal die.
Do we do the agent, Steve?
Yes, please.
Four on the dice.
Okay, Kingsman,
17.
Agent,
6.
Logo,
17.
Agatha,
10.
Arctus,
9.
Noella,
12.
Maylor.
9. Swidow is 8.
Okay, so Kingsman and Lobo, you're up first.
I'll slam my new foot into the ground, and I'll summon some spirit guardians.
Okay. Okay, where are you casting it?
It's a 15-foot radius from me.
Okay.
I'm in the centre.
Okay.
All my companions are safe. Him and these 2 Marines, but not me.
Okay, so Taria won't be safe, obviously. Where are you?
I'm just in the corner, on this corner here.
That's you there, innit?
That's me there.
Okay,
Mhm.
so they're outside the radius.
Yeah.
They are with you.
Yeah.
Okay, so this
He's
is
not.
the same thing.
Yep, it is. Wisdom saving throw. And
I rolled 19 on the dice.
yeah, so it's that you make it, but you still take half damage.
Okay, what's the damage?
And it's 3d8.
And as soon as the damage hits, suggestion fails.
That's 9.
So you no longer don't have to fight us.
We also have to tell the truth.
It's not to tell the truth.
But now is not compelled to answers and is not restricted from fighting us.
Okay, so Kingsman slams his leg into the floor, and all around him these ancient dwarves carrying battle axes and war hammers fly around him in a huge
Hooray.
circle. Ghostly apparitions. Are you moving?
No, I'm gonna stay where I am actually for now.
Okay. So next up we have Lobo.
Is the green lily raid different to the normal raid?
You have to make a save at the end of it. So it's exactly the same. It just doesn't count for one of your range uses. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But other than that, it's the same. And it only lasts 10 rounds. And at the end of those 10 rounds, you have to make a Constitution save.
I'll just use normal reaction. I can't. And I hit. Well, I assume I hit. With the. I'm going to go for the palanquin guy.
Yep.
Because he's really wound. And I go up. 15?
Is a hit.
Or I get advantage anyway, don't I? I get 2 attacks.
You do.
20.
It's
That's
a
2
hit.
hits.
Yeah. Are you attacking recklessly or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm attacking recklessly.
Okay, so roll the dice again just in case you crit.
Nope.
Okay, so 2 hits.
Uh, 21 plus 2 for each of those.
It's 25.
Yeah.
Okay, so you swing the hammer round, the spike chain round using the blunt end. You
I'm going to break
into the
his
side
legs
of
off.
into the side of the palanquin, and it makes like a dull sort of bell ringing sound. Next up is Noella.
I'd like to cast Heat Metal on one of the Warforged.
Okie dokie.
So I think I'll just go straight to 3d8.
Is it a touch spell?
Object. No, I don't know if it's touch or not. Where's the thing then?
I don't think it's touch.
No,
I don't think so.
No.
there's no things in it. I'm just quite just blank. Heat Metal, 60 feet range.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
fine. Do I just go straight into one of the 3d8s then?
No.
No, they make a save.
Oh, right, so there's nothing there.
If you click on the thing, it'll tell you what type of save it is.
Okay. Save and throw. Oh, Constitution save and throw.
But I don't think... Because I think it's Constitution saving throw to hold to...
Oh, choose most such metal arm receiver equals the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact that the object takes 2d8 until the spell ends. You can use the bonus action each of self-returns.
I think it's
I
just
think the con save
instantaneous.
is if you can hold on to it, which...
Okay.
I think it's just instantaneous.
So I just roll 3d8s and that's it.
Yep.
I'll roll
But-
meditate.
Yeah, it's dependent. You will need a DM ruling on what heating creatures made of metal does to creatures made of metal.
They're not only made of metal.
They're made
Are they
of wood
not?
and metal.
They're made of wood and metal. These ones are made of wood and metal. Well, I allowed it last time.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So roll 3d8.
Plus, heating it's
one.
going to
Oh, 1, 3,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
7.
and stuff.
It's
so
just for...
some kind of damage.
So
It's
that's
not necessarily
11.
pain.
No. It's more the fact that they obviously can't drop themselves. So they're literally just stuck getting burned.
Yeah.
So we did something what happened last time. So
Yeah.
you select the chest
Chest
area
plate,
to
yeah.
be
Incinerated. Well, melted.
heated up. So it starts to glow red hot, then orange,
Yeah.
then white hot, and
For some reason I thought
steam starts to pour
Mhm.
off. Okay, next up is Agatha.
Can I attack the palanquin guy with my battle axe, please?
It's not you, sorry.
Is it not me?
No, I failed to scroll out correctly. It's Arctus.
Oh, me. Yay. I
And then
will Eldritch Blast one each.
Yep.
So the first one is 16.
That's a hit. That's exactly what you needed.
Sweet.
Are you hexing one of them?
No. So 6 on the first one,
Yep.
and then a 10, which will miss on the second one.
Okay, yeah. So you fire 2 bolts, one hitting it square in the chest, that's the one that's already glowing white hot, so it penetrated the the armour. The second one, you fire the bolt, but because that's not already undergoing some physical damage, it manages to dodge out of the way. And takes no damage. Maynor, you're up.
I'd like to cast Fear on the one of the Marines.
Okay.
But anything within a 30-foot cone must succeed on Wisdom saving throw. So effectively, my cone will be, because I'm here,
Yeah.
my cone will be directed this way.
So I'll get both of them.
At both, but I'm wondering if Arctus might need it as well. But just depends on how the cone. Yeah, I'm aiming the cone as much as I can, so
That's
Arctus
fine.
can't. So
Yeah. So you can manage to aim it so it only just overlaps the second one.
yeah.
And would avoid Arctus completely.
Okay, so that's a Wisdom save of 14.
Okay, so you cast a spell and you unleash this bright, glowing white skull from your fingertips that passes through both creatures and expands off and dissipates into the distance. However, it seems to have no effect.
Oh.
They are immune to fear.
Okay.
Do you wish to do anything else?
I would like to. I'm not. Am I in range of an attack if I move?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm actually stuck in a position. Can I sidestep around this Marine here to potentially be around it? I don't know whether I can step sidestep enough.
Where you are is that they're basically filling the doorway, so there's no way past. You can attempt to tumble through their space, but if you fail, you'll be left prone.
Okay. I'll probably stay where I am.
Okay. And it's Swidow's game.
Okay. Swidow is here, so he will like to. What weapons?
He's got his great sword.
Yeah. Can he also rage?
No.
No. Okay. I forgot. He's got a great sword. That doesn't need to be with the hand thing. That's just a standard great sword.
No, his great sword is.
Oh, okay, fine. Okay.
Which is a bonus action to get out. So.
Okay. It's bonus, so he can do it on a standard without a normal action.
Yeah, he can get his great sword to extrude and then move into range with a reliquary if that's what you want to attack and take his 2 attacks.
Okay, fine. I will move in between them here and unsheath the greatsword as a bonus action.
Okay, you move in to there because that puts him right in between the reliquary and the. And in fact, he would have to leave the Marines' area of threat in order to attack the reliquary because he hasn't got reach with a greatsword.
He's going to be attacking these two.
Are you sorry? You're not attacking the reliquary.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Okay. Fine. I will go up close to the reliquary.
Yeah.
If I could pronounce it, and unsheath the greatsword, and take 2 attacks.
Okay.
So I'll roll. So does a 27 hit?
27 does hit. Yeah.
Okay. And a 13.
13 misses.
Okay.
So roll your damage for the 27.
Yeah. Okay.
Was that a crit?
Sorry.
Was it a critical?
No, it was a natural 20.
Okay.
Unnatural. Okay, so
Dirty 20.
it was a dirty 20. I'm just going to get my 8 out. Oh, no, it's D6.
It's
sorry.
2d6.
Yeah. So 16 points of damage.
Okay, so he steps up, unsheathes his greatsword, takes a mighty swing, which cleaves off the side, glances off one of the arms that's starting to extrude from the body. Unfortunately, misses with a second. He definitely did some damage there. So it's starting to look pretty bad, even this early into the fight. Agatha, you're up next.
Agatha's really not happy with
With
all
the
this-
situation.
all this talk about demi-humans. So she's going to waddle over to the palanquin and attack it with her battle axe.
Okay.
So
That's
13
So, yeah,
plus
that's-
19.
That's the
19
agent
hit.
one. I
19
said.
hits.
Yeah,
And
I'm-
then it
I'm in the
is
corner.
1d8
I'm
plus
over there.
3.
No one puts Maylor in the corner.
And don't
that
forget
you?
you can
Oh,
use
okay.
Divine
Oh,
Smite
sorry.
if you wish.
I was looking for it.
So Divine Smite will allow you to burn off one of your spells.
It's not in my spells list.
It's not in your spell, it's in your feats and abilities list.
Ah.
So if you want to, you can burn off your first level spell and do
Yes,
an
if that's
additional
okay.
2d8 damage.
Yes, please.
Okay. So roll your weapon damage.
Oh. Right, hang on. Where I was.
You're attacking the palanquin.
Yes, I knew I was doing something like that. Okay.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I am. Sorry. So it's So it's 7
Plus your strength bonus.
plus
which
my
is
strength
3,
bonus. Okay, 10.
10, and then another 2d8.
Which one is Agatha?
2d8. That one there,
Mine's
sideways
the
on.
same. Yeah, I've removed.
Cunning.
I think my dice is broken.
Who would have thought
19 in total.
that? Steve did.
Okay, so you raise your battle axe to the heavens, and as you bring it down, scream with the pent up rage. This conversation
Aggravated
has
mosquito.
filled you with over the last 10 or so minutes. Embed your axe deep into the chest of the palanquin, and then you go ha as you pull it out, unleashing this torrent of divine energy as you do so. So
And
If it
19
makes you feel any
damage.
better, last session the Water Elemental had 3 hit points. I rolled a d10 and a d6 and did 2 damage.
But is the palanquin dead?
No, the palanquin is not dead.
Can I do it again?
You only get one attack.
Just keep
Oh,
going.
no, you get 2
Damn
attacks
it.
as well.
I do get
Yeah,
2 attacks.
yeah,
I
yeah.
get 2.
Yeah, you can.
You
You
can
can roll
Divine
again
Smite.
for the second.
I'll use Divine Smite again.
That's fine. I'm happy with just the battle axe.
Divine Smite is.
How many?
One bonus action, I think.
Oh, is that the that is
Divine
the
Smite.
bonus
actually,
action,
Divine Smite
isn't
is
it?
Just done it.
That's fine. You
I
can do
just-
it with any attack, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was wondering if
just
you do it
as long as you got the
No, I
spell.
don't think so. Well, I'm not sure actually. Roll your attack anyway. You might miss.
16.
You didn't miss. You hit.
Okay.
So roll your damage.
So it's remind me what I've got to add together. So it's 7
Yeah. And then plus
Plus
3.
six.
plus 3, so 10.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Did I have to add strength?
Unless you want to do Divine Smite again, but I'm not sure that
No.
you've got any spells left because you did use some spells last week because you cast Bless.
Did I?
at least
They're
once.
not been taken off.
Right. Okay, you struck down again, doing damage on the backswing this time. It's my go. So the 2 Marines are going to attack Arctus and
Yeah,
is it the agent that's there? Arctus
Yeah.
and
not
Mr.
Arctus.
Maylor.
Oh, the agent. I thought that was Arctus. Yeah.
I'm over in the other corner.
You
There's
are,
me.
yes, 'cause- yes. The agent
and Maylor.
Yeah.
Maylor. Okay, so the agent misses on both attacks. So the Marine sort of again approaches it from this almost kung fu style movement that they have. They seem to flow from one kick, one punch, and then back into sort of a defensive stance. Misses both times on the agent, and from Maylor, oh, that's 2 20s.
Yay! Well, it was nice knowing you all.
So I hit with does 15 hit you?
Hang on. Let me just check. But I think yes. It is. Hang on. But I can use a shield as a
reaction. Yes.
reaction, which is +5 bonus.
Yeah.
So 17. So 50 does not hit if I use shield.
Okay, so you can fire off your shield as your reaction. So
Yeah.
get rid of the spell. Okay,
Yeah.
so the kick comes up to catch you in the chest, and you react instantly. Throw your hands up, and the arcane energy pulses from you and forms this magical barrier that causes the foot to glance off and go wide. However, the uppercut punch that was a 20, I rolled a 20 and 8, so that's why I'm saying it was nearly 20 because
Oh, right, okay.
The uppercut punch catches you square in the jaw, and you are completely stunned, in shock that you've been hit by this large creature, and you take, if I can find the bloody dice, 22 points of damage.
Oh dear.
Okay, the end of the round, the
The agent,
yes,
right at the bottom in little letters, obviously.
yes,
Don't
I was right the previous time because I've written AG down for Agatha and AG down for agent. Completely forget about the agent. So sorry, Pete. You can take your go.
Right. So the agent is not paying any attention to the Marines, other than to disengage.
Yeah.
Is clearly incensed by this betrayal.
Yeah.
And is looking for any weak point through which to stab.
There are plenty of cracks and creases and dents in the outer skin of the Plankwind.
And I rolled 20.
You rolled a natural 20.
Rolled a natural 20.
Good boy.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Would also he know, because he's been hanging around with him before, would he know of any? He's just picked up that, that's a good place to hit.
Maybe.
Apparently so with the 20.
With his natural 20.
Do I double all the dice?
Yes, you double all the dice.
Yeah. 12.
Some sword fighting going on in the background as well.
24.
That's where he's trying to hit you.
Yeah. It's always at the
Okay,
boxing.
so with the four arms that were slowly being sort of extruded from the case of the Plankwind and the body starting to rise up, you move round, disengaging successfully from the Marine that was faced up against you at the beginning of the round, and you find a scene partly exposed even more because of Agatha's divine strike slightly earlier in the fight, and you identify just underneath where the metal and the arm joint meet, you can see the glint of what looks like crystal underneath, and you thrust forward with your dagger or short sword. Short sword. You thrust forward your short sword with all your might, cracking the crystal. There is a torrent of yellow ochre gas that escapes from the Palanquin, smelling strongly of the dream lily substance from upstairs. The whole device collapses, the legs go out, the knees give way, the arms fall forward, panels open and expose this crystal, almost sort of entombed in ice female form. The crystal is cracked from where you've hit it with your short sword. Gas is escaping all over, and this is why the now unconscious features of Taria de Merrick's, Taria de Canith is now revealed as the occupier of this device. It falls to the ground, out. I'm going to remove it from the board rather than putting it flat.
The Marines are still advancing.
The Marines are still advancing.
Poetic justice.
Yes, you managed to deliver justice personally. Right, top of the round is Kingsman.
Okay, I do the whole Mr. Miyagi, slam my hands together and send a guiding bolt to the Marine on the right.
Okay, rotate it for a minute, please.
No, 11.
That's a miss. You fire it off over his shoulder and it illuminates the darkened corridor behind the Marine.
Ooh, okay. Do I notice anything further down behind?
No.
Okay.
Logo.
Yeah, I'll stay away.
Okay.
Lobo looks for the next thing to hit.
He turns round.
Turns
Sees
round.
two Marines behind him.
Who's that? It's that one that happens to be the one that's next to Malor.
Yeah, so there's one that's damaged. It's currently glowing with white hot chest plate, and he's squared off against Malor. The other one appears to be attacking nothing and is currently uninjured.
Yeah, let's smash the one that like Maylor's.
Okay.
I don't suppose 12 hits.
12.
Oh, hang on, I get advantage, don't I?
Yeah, so roll again.
So in that case, the 24 does hit.
Yeah, 24 does hit.
And the second attack, an unnatural 20, dirty 20.
You both hit. So this is the one that's attacking Maylor, yeah?
Yeah. 9, 5, 14, 24, and another 4, 28.
28 points of damage. So again, you unleash with the blunt end of the of the chain, swinging it twice, hitting both times. Again, damaging that chest area that's glowing white up. So it's being used almost as a target, like guiding bolt was intended to be used when Dave cast it. Kingsman cast it last time. Maths is failing me.
It's dead, I think.
No, it's still alive, but heavily damaged. Next up is Noella.
Could I use Produce Flame on the one I've already damaged? That's right.
Is Produce Flame a concentration spell?
No, it's a cantrip.
Okay.
So that's 16 plus 6, which is 22 to hit.
Is it an attack spell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
You go and then throw it.
Okay.
And that's 2d8 damage if I've...
2d8 damage.
Yeah.
It's one of the ones that if you save, it's nothing, I think. Is that right?
Pardon?
If you save against
No,
it.
if it's
It's
an
an
attack
attack.
roll, then there's no save.
Yeah. So that's 5 and 2, 7. As a bonus action, can I continue with my heat metal? So
Yep.
that's a cons,
Yep.
whatever it is. Concentration. Okay, so that's 7 for that one. And that's 3, 8 and 6. So that's 17 for heat metal.
And the 7 for the Produce
Yes.
Flame. Okay, so you produce flame with one hand,
Mm-hmm.
throw it at the creature's face. It takes hold, igniting the wood in its face panel. You continue to manipulate the air with your other hand and continue to heat the chest area, and it slowly melts into slag dripping down the rest of the body. He falls to the ground. Out.
You did.
Okay, next up is the agent.
I think the agent's going to be concentrating on smashing through this crystal.
Okay. Arctus. And then Naylor and Swidow.
Double Eldritch Blast at the last remaining enemy. That's not a 20. 10 and a lot more than 20. So,
Yep, you hit.
8 damage.
Okay, you send your Eldritch Blast swinging towards it and successfully hitting. Doing decent damage, but it's still looking fairly healthy. Okay.
I will stay in the corner.
Maylor.
I will cast a firebolt at the marine. It's a cantrip. Does a 19 hit.
Yes, roll your damage.
Okay, 2d10.
You are after Josh.
7 points of damage.
Okay, you cast up a flaming arrow, conjure in your hand and forwards. It strikes true. How much damage?
7.
7. Again, it hits similar sort of damage to Eldritch Blast from Arctus, but it's still looking generally healthy. Swidow.
Swidow will go up to it,
Yep.
scream very loudly,
Yep.
and attack with his great sword twice at the marine.
Okay.
So that is a 21.
Yep. Roll your second attack for me first,
Yeah,
please.
and a 17.
Both of them hit. Roll
Okay.
damage.
So that's 2d6 times 2.
Do you have to say
Yeah. That's right. I'll just use that one. I just basically roll 4d6.
Yeah, and don't forget to add 2 times your strength modifier.
Yeah.
There's D6 there.
That's fine.
Is that his thing?
So that is 8, 10, 12, and then that would be 22 points of damage? No, that'd be 32 points of damage because two attacks with 2
Yeah, you
5.
rolled 4d6. That was the 2 attacks.
Yeah, sorry, hang on. Yeah.
What's the strength modifier?
Yeah, it was +5. Sorry, no, it's 22 points of
22.
damage. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was
Right.
getting confused.
2 large overhand chops delivered either side of the head, digging deep into the shoulders. It's looking pretty damaged, but still standing. Agatha.
Okay, can I move over so that I'm within like 5 feet from where I am? Cool. And I'd like to attack with my battle axe.
Yep. Roll your attacks.
Please. 20.
Natural 20.
Natural
Yeah.
20.
Roll your second attack while you're at it.
18.
Good. Yeah.
Oh,
You can have that as a non-crit.
I don't know what that means. What's a non-crit?
That means you don't double it. So you rolled a natural 20, so that
Yeah.
means you've got critical
That
hit.
one's a 4. Then
So-
you've got to roll your, now you've got to roll your critical. Yeah, the other attack. First.
Okay,
So you want a high number on the dice because you can double it then.
7.
So that's doubled to 14, plus
14.
your strength modifier.
Is that the 3 here?
Yeah. So that's 17 damage and
Okay.
4 damage.
Yep.
Guess how many hit points I had left?
20.
1. And you did 21 damage.
Fantastic.
So how do you want to do it?
I think Agatha is properly hacked off because of everything that's gone on. She didn't get to kill the palanquin. So she's going to take it out on the little tiny bit that's remaining of the Marine's neck with her battle axe.
Okay, so you chop through first off, and you see a small splinter of wood. That only increases the rage that you feel, and with a mighty backswing, you strike true, you strike clean, and its head is cleaved from its shoulders, and it falls to the floor.
And then I'm going to kick it for good measure.
You kick it in the nuts for good measure.
Yeah.
Slightly hurts your foot because it is made of metal, but you made your point.
Arctus leans to Noel and goes, she's kind of angry.
Yeah.
Those are applause. Well done, little girl.
Okay, fight over. So there is a wrecked palanquin on the floor. There is a corridor that leads away behind the Marines, and the agent is doing a number currently on the crystal sort of cube that was revealed to be inside the palanquin as the panels fell in. He has made it most of the way through. The perceptive amongst you will notice that Taria, who she said she was, still does appear to be moving inside. She is alive, not unconscious. All you seem to have done is destroyed the device that she was piloting, for want of a better expression. And like I say, the agent seems intent on getting at the person within the crystal. Do any of you want to do anything?
I'll walk over and put a hand on the agent's shoulder as he's beating the crap out of the crystal and just go, what are you planning to do once you get in?
Kill her. Pull
that-
limb from limb.
Is that wise?
You agree with me, don't you?
I do kinda.
What she done to my master took me in when things couldn't be much worse. Cared for me, gave me, put me to use. I'm gonna kill her. What she done to us.
She might have more information though.
She might be more valuable alive than dead.
Definitely. You can kill her after we've got information out of her, but
I like that
she's the
idea
more to
very
give.
much.
Maybe she can get us turmerics.
So as you're having this conversation, you can hear a weak coughing from inside. Wait. This time I'm not compelled magically. I will tell you all that I know. Please ask your questions. Just spare me. Let me live.
She does have to answer honestly.
Yeah,
She-
I believe so.
She may have to answer honestly. I
Yeah.
didn't reveal whether I felt that particular same.
do you know if they're compelled by your spell or not? Does it specify? I know for suggestion it does.
I don't think it
No.
does.
I don't know. I don't.
If it doesn't say.
If it doesn't say
No.
that you're aware if they succeed or fail, then you don't know.
No.
The agent is. There's a hole in the thing now. So
Yes,
crystal.
there is. Yeah. There is a hole in the crystal.
So
Big enough-
Lobo.
Big
Lobo.
enough for somebody's head to fit through, and either Swido or Lobo could make easy.
Yeah.
You could easily.
The agent pulls back and gestures at Lobo to pull the thing. Not the head, the crystal.
So he steps up, gives it one last tap with the end of his hook. The rest of the front cracks and splits. He then pulls it open and pulls out this emaciated, thin, drawn face, almost skeletal looking woman. Her hair is lank, and she's obviously an addict of some sort. She's got that sort of sallow expression, but still the look in her face is one of slight defiance or almost smugness, that even though her scheme has been discovered and potentially can fail, she's taken at least some delight in how clever she's been and how manipulative and how far this has all come. What do you want to ask?
Where's Merrick's? When did you take him to?
Damien?
Damien's.
The Marines. That is where they've just returned from. They were carrying Merrick's body to Damien's carriage. He will have already left by now.
Let's go.
Who is your leader?
I am my
Is
leader.
there a cure-all?
I don't know. The device was to be planted on the Storm's Herald. The Lord of Blades was arranging for that to happen. It will be done tonight. Once the device is aboard, it will operate, activate, inevitably, whether you are there to do it or not. You were a convenient excuse.
But there's
Someone to blame.
There's no cure-all to cure the plague.
I'm not interested if there is a cure or not. I was being honest earlier. The device was what you were to find. The device activated and you were to be
How long
blamed
have
for
you
the
been
vessel to be
imitating?
destroyed. 3 months. And you, L'Argent, most loyal member of my brother's household, were fooled, just like everyone else.
Can the device be stopped?
If you reach it and if you prevent it from being installed in the vessel, yes, I suppose it can be stopped. There's a double-edged intent. One, a party not linked to my house was to blame for the destruction of the Storm's Herald. This would have allowed my house and House Orion to wage economic war on the remaining dragon-marked houses. They would have either partnered with us in the future or faced ruin and become subservient where demi-humans deserve to be. It was also a way of ridding myself of you, Marchant.
Sure.
You were supposed to accompany the vessel. I wonder, do the rest of this team know your true nature?
Let's go and find Merrick. He's just.
Steady on there.
Swido says, "You lie. I find truth."
I didn't lie. Come on, she's just trying to sow discord amongst us.
Can we ask her what is Agent's
True
true
nature.
nature?
If he has his true nature, tell us what it is.
No. I'm not compelled to tell you the truth. But I do delight in thwarting you. Are you not more interested in how to save the vessel?
Yeah.
Mm.
The device is to be installed tonight, that's all I know.
Okay.
My
You ha-
scheme is done. It is your choice whether you choose to save my brother or save the vessel. The Storm's Herald or Merrick's. And if you remember from last week's vote, envelope A or envelope B.
Ah.
And the result of the vote was the Storm's Herald.
Yeah. So that's where we're going.
Because after we opened the envelope, the end of last
Merrick's,
session,
Yeah.
the other choice was Merrick's.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
I voted for the other envelope.
So, your characters know, apart from Arctus and Agatha, you know where Damien is going to be tomorrow night because the play out that we did in episode 2, when you met the machine and then you travelled to the Raiders Lament where Lobo faced off against the champion, then you gained access to Damien's room, and then at the beginning of episode 3 you fought and defeated Damien, and you then discovered the sort of the surgery that he'd set up and the bodies that had been dismembered, various different body parts in jars, if you recall, within the room that was in the Raves and Men. So you know at least where Damien will be tomorrow night because he will be there to watch the nightly pit fights that go on. You've also just been told that the device is going to be installed on the vessel tonight, so you
Get there first.
Yeah. That's in the engine
Jim's getting
room.
there first.
Last time, yeah.
and try and at least stop the device from being installed and somehow stop the Storm's Herald from being damaged by that particular element of what went on last time. However, you also know, having experienced it, that Storm's Herald was attacked by the clockwork creatures because of course that was when you first encountered the Marines and the soldiers the previous time. So that's the crux point that we're at the moment. So there's a corridor to follow, which is where the clockwork Marines have just come from. So that may lead to Merrick's if he's still around, or he may have already left because you've been told that the body was taken to the garage, or we can move on to Storm's Herald, which is what was the result of the live chat vote last week.
I think stick with the live vote.
Yeah, definitely.
You know that's not going to happen until tonight. So it's currently about 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. We have the option of taking a long rest if you want to return to the compound. Whatever you want to do with Taria, whether you want to obviously kill her, if that's what you want to do, or keep her alive and somehow
I know what I want to do.
build the case.
I want to keep her alive and deny her drugs.
Yes.
I
Want
would,
to keep her alive and
I would
let
make a
us,
request.
get some more weapons and armor.
I've been sent to investigate all that went on in the past for you guys, but my future. I'm sure my house would be very interested in receiving this prisoner.
Which house is that again?
House Madani.
So House Madani is the mark of finding. So they do a lot of the investigation, magical research.
What's House DeCannith's relationship with House Madani?
House DeCannith and House Orion have a bit of a strained relation generally in the continent called there with most of the other houses because they suffered the most as a result of the end of the war. In Sharn, mostly everybody generally gets on together. A lot of that is to do with Merrick's because Merrick's is the leader of House DeCannith in Sharn. But yeah, generally around House Kenneth and House Orient are closely linked, largely separate from the rest.
Will she be kept alive in the house?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
she would be made to answer for all of her crimes.
That's probably a good idea to
I
do that.
I think the agent wouldn't be happy handing her over to another house if that meant she could wriggle out of it if there was some way associated with it. But this doesn't sound like that's going to happen.
So House
'Cause
Madani
I've seen the
are-
houses work,
Yes.
and they disagree and bicker and fight amongst themselves, but they still see themselves as the ruling class.
Correct.
They don't. So their loyalty is split between a house, someone in a house, and the ordinary people. They'd still favour the person in the house. But I'm just thinking, would that be the case here? Probably not, because this was a power grab, an outrageous power grab that no one's going to be happy with.
Correct. This will unite every other house against the Kenneth and Orient.
Yeah.
If it had, but this is clearly not Merrick's actions. So
Which-
this would clear his name.
Correct.
If they had got someone. Yeah.
Agatha's happy with it. She's calmed down quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
More rational.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I get some of the Dream Lily stuff.
Yeah.
And wave it in front of her.
You can see she visibly becomes agitated. She has an obvious need for almost constant use of
Just have to throw it on the fire. That would be a bad idea. I'll throw it in the corner.
Okay, so you can
Alright.
return to the House Madani compound,
Mm-hmm.
and we can cover, your obviously discovery and return after all these years. You can leave
We don't know.
Taria there.
We don't know what's going to happen. Where this device is going to be until it's being put on the ship. So
No.
that will mean that we can rest until that point.
You can essentially you can return to House Madani compound.
Mm-hmm.
You can then return to the House Kenneth compound because the agent has free access to that
Mhm.
area anyway, and you can take a long rest at the House
long
Kenneth
rest.
compound, and then we
And
can
still
move
have time
on
to-
onto the docks.
Yep.
There is enough time to have a long rest before
I'm
you
thinking
need to move.
there's no urgency for us. We don't know where it is at the moment,
No.
so we can't intercept it before that. We have to wait until they.
Correct.
Board the ship with
You've
it.
got
Yeah.
to you've got to be there at the time it is being placed and almost catch them in the act.
Okay. That makes sense.
Okay.
It does.
Okay, so we'll fast forward to all of that happening.
Yeah.
You return.
Is there gear that these guys can
Yep.
make use of?
Yep.
Like armour for this guy.
Yep. So you can go and do shopping.
But is there some in House to Kenneth?
In House to Kenneth,
Mm.
you wouldn't necessarily have access to the armories and stuff like that. No,
No, not the good stuff.
not the good stuff. So you go shopping. You can stock up on potions if you wish.
How do you go
You can
shopping?
take your long rests.
Mm-hmm.
It is 10:05, so we can take another quick break
Yeah, that'd be good.
and then just wrap up. We'll finish at 10:30 tonight.
Yeah.
After long rest, and then we'll say that we pick up at the docks for the start of the next session. So let's take a quick
Mm-hmm.
tea break, and then wrap up the session afterwards.
Cool.
How do we go shopping?
Oh, it's the most important part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
No one told me there was shopping. Really?
Who's our treasurer?
I don't think it's me. I think it's you. Yeah, you always collect stuff.
So I've got all the gold.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So can we get some? I'm after some plate now, basically.
Okay.
I don't think Lobo wants anything more than he's got already. I think. Well,
But you wanna? Should we do a quick tea break
Yeah,
then?
tea break.
Yeah.
Go over that.
Tea break.
Mm-hmm.
And we do
See you in
it.
a bit.
Bye.
so you've made your way to House Madani and delivered Taria into the custody of the House of Fining. Arctus makes his presentation to the House leadership, and we can cover that another time. Obviously, he's been away from Shan for quite a long time, since before the morning occurred. So they're all pretty shocked to find him still alive, unharmed, in one piece. So he's a lot of storytelling to do on bringing people up to date, and in fact being brought up to date himself on what's happened since Seal was destroyed, because all of that back history as to what happened is completely unknown to him. So he bids you all farewell and good luck for the time being. He won't be accompanying you to the next part of the adventure, which is your efforts to stop the Storm's Herald from being destroyed by preventing the device that unleashed the spiders first time round being placed on board. So we'll be, I'm sure, crossing paths with Arctus again in the future, but for the moment he'll be stepping away. So,
Thank you for your help in retrieving me from that temple. I don't think I would have made it without your...
No worries.
Aye, laddie. There you go. Send her on your way.
If you have need, feel free to ask for me at House Madani.
If you ever want a beer, you know where to come.
and you of course will be returning House Madani to see what happens with Taria and what happens should we move forward with revealing the scheme to Shan in general and trying to get some closure on justice. So moving forwards, you will be returning to the House to Kenneth compound to take a long rest. Before we go there, you can take advantage of the fact you're in Shan. You can go and pick up some healing potions. You're probably running low on those. Replace any equipment that was lost during the ship crashing first time round. So Dave, Kingsman, lost all of his armour, for example, and his weapons because he was disguised as a priest at the time. Many of the rest of you may have lost mundane equipment or may wish to just spend some of the money that you've acquired over the last few sessions, sell some of the items if you don't want them, sell some of the treasure that you've picked up, and pick up some goodies.
Okay. Can I get my plate mail and a hammer?
You can.
Can they be magical?
Welcome, sir, to the fine good store. Yeah, I recognise you. You're that guy from the Death's Head Guild interview, aren't you? Yes, I know you. So how did you try out then? Those flaming half-orcs, they went down with that coughing disease. How did you fare?
I let it. I'm still here, I tell you.
Yeah, but I see you've lost a leg. That must have been some serious interview.
I did, but I got a new one.
Yes, sir. It's very shiny indeed. So, how may we assist you today?
I'm looking for something which has a big swing and a big thud.
Playground.
Yeah. I'm looking for a new hammer. What have you got? A new battle hammer.
Well, I don't really get involved in the arms and armour.
What about the legs?
Arms and armour sales. I do have, of course, some fine plate mail. If you're interested in that, I seem to recall you wearing plate mail.
Certainly, yeah. Yeah, I lost mine.
That was most unfortunate
It
and rather
was.
quick.
But
anyway,
it was.
We're careless.
It was a good choice.
we have some. I have some very, very fine adamantine plate mail available for sale.
Okay.
The low price.
And to you, the low price of 2,200 gold pieces.
Okay. Well, do we know exactly how much we have in terms of party treasure?
If you have it written down.
Well, we have about 10,000 gold pieces.
Because I don't.
We've got a lot, actually. Uncut diamonds, 2,000 gold pieces.
Oh,
You
diamonds.
could swap them for you.
Diamonds.
Yeah.
How many have you got?
I don't know. It says uncut diamonds. The value said was 2,000.
Okay, so we'll say there's 10 pieces.
Okay.
Let's give us a look then. Let's have a look.
Hand over. Uncut.
Oh yes. These are fair specimens. I'll give you 1,500 gold.
And the armour? Deal! Yeah.
No. We'll say these are 1,500 in value. I obviously have to cover my costs for having them cut and turned into jewellery or items. So we'll knock that off the cost of the armour. So that's the 700 gold.
Yeah, can I try persuasion?
You can.
No,
It's
I
a
saw
natural
that.
one. Plus five.
Just wasn't meant to be.
1,500? That's better than I thought.
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. That's fine. 1,500, that's fine. And then I'll throw in the extra gold as well. So I get the adamantine armour.
Now, can I be interested in some potions, say? Some healing potions? Are you off adventuring by any chance? I mean, that whole interview process was about getting a job, if I recall correctly. And it was only this morning, so I should do.
Yeah.
So what do you fancy then? I've got some minor, some medium and some greater.
Well, you've been holding the potions.
Yeah,
How many of you got left over?
We've got two.
two vials.
I think they're two
So,
standard ones. Three.
how much is a, say, medium?
For you, my dear.
Yeah,
For you, my dear, they're 50 gold.
50 gold.
What about for him?
200 gold.
Well, to make things easy, we've got 4 gems worth 50 gold pieces each. So
Okay,
just get 4.
switch it. Yeah, can I
Yeah.
swap the gems for the potions,
You
please?
can. I love
Fabulous.
gems, and so does my Esmeralda.
You're a cow called Esmeralda.
That's his wife.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fabulous, thank you very
4
much.
potions. 4
Okay,
gems.
that's
Put
that.
them in our little potion bag.
Yeah.
Can you do other kind of magical items?
I've got some scrolls. Got a few wands.
Scrolls, wands,
I've got
scrolls.
lots of potions.
Don't suppose you have any illusionist braces, do you?
No.
Oh.
Ah.
More wands though. You like your wands.
Yeah. Any potential armour for a wizard?
Are you sure you're a wizard?
Yeah, surely you should know.
You turn to Mike.
No.
No.
In fact, I only had that set of adamantine plate because somebody come in and traded it for a helm.
No robes or anything.
Traded it for a helm. What
Yeah.
kind of helm?
A magical helm.
Well, exactly. So, what kind of magical items do you have?
So, I don't really carry arms and armour, but I say I've got wondrous items. I've got some rods and some wands. Got some potions. What are you really looking for?
I'm not sure. I'm kind of just browsing at the moment.
Sell me something.
I didn't know we were going to go shopping, so I wasn't quite prepared for a shopping mission.
Have you got any wands that are good for druids?
What sort of spell effects are you looking for?
Oh, let me have a look. Any sort of like elemental spells, like fire and frost, if that's the correct term.
I wasn't particularly prepared for you going shopping either. If we're going to browse through the magical items page, we can do that offline, I
I'm
think.
just trying to see like what I can get.
Okay.
Where'd you go to see
Can
what
I-
spells you can buy?
Yeah.
Scroll. Go to that.
So can I sell back the chainmail?
He's not interested in buying armor.
Game rules. Then you got magical.
Yeah, he only took the adamantine plate.
I don't know how I
in,
really can get
part
there.
exchange.
Any spells of conjuring at all?
He's got some conjuring scrolls. He's
Magic
got
items.
he's got most spells first level from that school of magic.
sticking
Some
Okay.
second level spells. So if you want a
Ooh.
specific scroll that you're after,
Is there any sort of wand I can have for like conjuring animals as well?
I don't honestly know.
Bag of holding. Does it need bags?
Oh, a bag of beans it
pages.
says here is quite good for me. I don't know what that is though.
I've got a bag. I mean, you seem to be carrying an
Is it
awful lot of stuff.
grow a beans?
I've got a bag
beanstalk?
that will hold an awful lot of items.
Bag.
Well, that sounds good. Yeah, that would come in handy. Laddie.
Make me an
I've said on laddie every now and then.
Wee laddie. You need to say
Alright,
lassie
mate.
as well.
Laddie.
And lassie when it's a girl.
Yeah. Laddie. Lassie. Laddie.
How does 2,000 gold sound?
Pretty good. Yep, we've still got 2,400 gold pieces.
Say there were spells up
If
here.
we use that
Oh,
for
scrolls.
treasure,
Oh, scrolls. Are those the
is
spells
so
that
it's a
people
bag of
buy?
holding.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one that you buy.
Ah,
2,000?
okay.
It's 2,000.
You have a bag of holding.
Do you have a scroll of unseen servant at all?
Yes, I do.
I'd like to purchase a scroll of unseen servant.
So what level is that?
What, level 1?
Level 1. Okay. 500 gold.
Can I persuade you to get that lower?
You can try.
Persuasion is 18.
Okay. You want to role play that out then?
So 500. Could we drop that down to 400 gold?
That's some role playing there.
Go on then. Providing the young lady gives me a kiss.
Can I trick him, like to think I've given? Can you cast an illusion to make it like?
I do not have any illusion spells. So you're only
You've
kissing.
got that magic hat, and like as you go close, pick out like a
Like a bag of tricks.
dead badger.
Yeah, I'll
roll,
just
roll
do
a
that.
d8.
Pull out,
and,
pull out a frog.
Yeah,
Just
right.
pull out a direwolf.
Hang on.
Guys,
Okay, right. We can play this out, right?
Okay.
Roll a d8, and we'll find out what actually kisses him on the cheek.
Okay.
Right.
2.
A giant rat is produced from
So-
the bag.
As you move towards a country, he sort of closes his eyes and leans forward. You see his dribble starts coming from the edge of his mouth where his false teeth have been forced up off the gums. And you reach into the bag and pull out this giant rat. And he gives it a big old...
And quickly put the rat back in the
I'll
hat.
just quickly. Feel sorry for the rat.
That was worth 100 gold, love.
Animal cruelty at its finest. So 400 gold off the.
You're buying his equipment.
Because I haven't been keeping track on what gold I have. Because at this moment in time, it says that I have 9 gold. So
It's alright, hang on, Dave's
We've got party treasure, so
Okay.
this is okay. We've
Yeah.
still got.
you're the treasurer.
We're selling all the gems and things that we found.
So I do have some more stronger potions. Of the biggest one I've got is the superior healing potion that really does give you a good old buff. You know, when you've taken a few hits. I imagine you'll need that, won't you, Mr. Half Elf? You look like the weedy sort of damage type.
Yeah, I take a few hits, so that might be interesting to have. How much for that potion?
1,500.
1,500. Do we think it's worth it?
That was one that you took before, so you got knocked down, if you remember. No, you probably don't. So was you there for that session?
No.
So in the House of Carmichael, you got taken out in the first round to 0 hit points by the Flaming Skull.
Oh, of course, yes, I do
Yeah,
remember
and
that.
Then,
If not, you could rewatch it on.
and then Phoenix whipped this out of out of Kingsman's belt
Right.
in a feat of sleight of hand and gave it to you and put you straight back up to full health. That was when you had one of these before.
Okay. That might be useful for anyone that might drop dead. Not drop dead, but.
It's just a lot of money. If there's anything else that anybody wants, armour, weapons, and then other items.
A
You can buy
necrotic
any
rod.
mundane item you want, really. That'll be
Be
available
careful,
if not
it's
here
magical
anywhere
items.
else. If
Does he sell them?
you can just buy a
Yeah.
warhammer.
So scrolls.
If you want to
potions,
look specifically for
standard
magical
weapon
one, then
items.
I'm looking
find
specifically.
those.
I've got a magic.
short
I've got a
sword
war
or whatever.
battle
Oh,
axe
no,
plus
he's
one
like
that Jeff
level
gave me.
300.
But I
Yeah.
prefer to have a.
A warhammer plus one.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so
What's
so
your-
we
you
can
got-
say that
Your battle axe is
I
magic.
mean, the problem is that
I don't think
You-
so.
you're going to have to take a long rest
Yeah.
soon.
Mhm.
So you don't have time to go wandering around Charm. So
Yeah.
you know this shop is here because
Yeah.
you've been here previously.
That's fine. I'm
He-
happy
he
to see
doesn't
what he's
have-
got.
Does the agent know of anywhere else that might sell magical equipment?
The agent knows of one place that sort of specialises in magical weapons. Yes, yes.
He'd tell me.
Okay.
Are any weapons purchasable?
No.
Any mundane items are
Oh,
So what does mundane mean? Does that mean where it says
Non-magical.
common?
non-magical.
common. Yeah.
What about if something is rare or very rare?
No.
No.
Then,
No, just
then
mundane.
you're really looking at specialist.
Can you filter it by that then?
You can click on common. I think when you're doing manage equipment to only show you
Oh,
common
okay.
stuff. Yeah, there's a tick box underneath. You can tick proficient and common. Okay, so you can head off to the other shop, and after some negotiation, the guy does have a +1 battle hammer, warhammer,
Yep.
and he is willing to make a part exchange on the axe. So if you give him an additional 300 gold,
Mhm.
you can walk out with
How
a,
much
with a
would it
hammer.
be without the 300? Would he not do that without?
It will sell it to you, yes,
For how much?
for 1,600 gold pieces.
Just because I don't think Agatha's got a magical weapon.
I don't think I have got a magical weapon.
She used the battle axe.
Yeah, because I'll
Like all the
let
time.
Agatha use the axe.
Okay.
And we'll just pay.
Okay, so you're going to pay 1,600.
Okay.
What have I got?
I was going to
A
get rid of
axe
some of
plus
the
one.
stuff that we don't need.
Oh, that's very nice, thank you.
Somewhere along the line, we also picked up an ornate warhammer. Is that any value?
It has value, yeah. You can probably get rid of it for, in the time that you've got, you can get rid of it for, say, 400 gold.
405.
400, unless you want. If you want to do persuasion, you can.
Do I need to do something to add a battle axe +1?
Yes. So if you go into your manage equipment
Yep.
and type in axe and then click on weapon, magical and proficient, it should be in the list that
Okay.
pops up.
So are we now in the magical item shop with the magical weapons, or are we still in the same shop as
No,
before?
we've moved.
Hey, mate.
Okay. Do you have any illusionist braces at all?
No, I specialise in weapons.
Oh, okay.
Is this axe of the dwarvish lords that I'm looking at?
No, it's a
just
battle axe
just
plus
battle
one.
axe plus one. Do you
Yeah, why can I not find it?
You might have to tap back that actually.
Do you have a quarterstaff plus one at all?
wanna- oh, 'cause you-
No, I deal in weapons. Not walking sticks.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to type in battle axe.
you've done it
Okay.
Battle axe.
Okay.
Did somewhere along the line we also picked up a scroll,
Thank
a bone scroll tube, and it contained a lightning bolt. Did you?
He'd be the person.
Yeah. Did you?
I did. I didn't use it. so
You wouldn't have scribed that into your book. You can scribe it into your book, and whilst you're here in Shan, you can buy the inks that are necessary to do that.
yeah. Okay, I'll
So
do
it will
that.
cost you, I think, 200 gold to buy
Mhm.
the necessary inks, and then that will allow you to copy that scroll into your spell book,
Okay,
so that you can then cast that in the future.
sounds good.
So
Okay.
do you have any third level spell slots there? I don't think you do. Do you?
I do actually, but my laptop's just died. So,
Okay. Yeah,
I'll probably get rid of maybe fear.
you don't have to get rid of it.
You just
Not
add it-
fear, but I'll unprepare fear maybe and replace it with that. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So scrub it off, and he can put
It's
it in.
got
his-
200,
Right. So 200 off, and you now have the lightning bolt scroll.
which he then
Yeah,
scribes.
which
so
I
just-
will scribe it during a long rest.
Yep.
So,
Okay.
We also found a gold ring, which was magical, but we never knew what it was.
You did. That was the ring of spell storing. So
Yes, which
Josh
I was
identified
using
that.
it, and then I haven't stored any spells in it recently, but someone
Can you store spell? Can you store?
I can store my own spells in them, I think,
Right,
can I?
so you can you can.
But there is one I cannot unstore. It's permanently there. I think I remember but I forgot what it was that was there.
So this is a house you got from. This is a ring that you got from the House of Carmichael,
Mm-hmm.
and there is already a spell stored in it called Revivify.
Revivify, yeah.
Which
Which I think would be more pertinent to a paladin, personally. So
it blocks you from storing. I think you've got 2 levels of spells that you can store in there because
Yeah.
that's the 3rd level spell.
But anyone can cast spells out the ring. You don't need to have them on your list. Which is
oh yeah,
the bonus
okay,
of
that's
it.
good. Yeah.
And it uses the attributes of whoever casts the spell into the ring.
Right. Okay.
So you can hand that out
Yeah.
if you needed to. We also got a wand of web.
Yes, which I took.
Okay. Good with that. And then Jeff got the quiver.
Noella got the bag,
Great
Yeah.
bag.
The bag of tricks.
and there's the deck of illusions.
Yeah.
Which isn't owned by anyone right now.
Does that have a value? Do you want to give it a value?
I can come up with a value,
Okay,
yeah.
whatever.
Or unless you want to keep it.
Okay. We'll keep it for now.
Weren't there a few cards missing though from that deck of illusions? I think I rolled. Oh, I thought I rolled and then we were missing 2 cards or something.
I'll have to go and look at the
Yeah.
description again. I don't. Yeah, I can't remember.
I go for any weapons, armour?
I've just got the battle axe +1.
Okay. Anything
I
else?
think I'm fully armoured up.
You're already wearing adamantine
Yeah.
plate now.
I don't know if I can get anything that's worthwhile for me. I think, apart from the potions.
Yeah.
You've got a magical weapon.
Yeah, I've got a
I think everybody's got a magical weapon now, haven't they?
Yeah. So I'll cash in some gold and I'll get that +1 hammer.
So it was
Okay.
1600.
Yep. That's 200. That's it.
Got that hag's eye as well if you wanted to potentially sell that off unless you
I like
wanted
that.
to.
I'll keep that.
Is that true seeing?
Yeah.
Dark vision.
Dark vision.
Dark.
60 feet when used.
Yeah. I mean, we've got a couple of people already in the group that can
Yeah, she has.
see.
Yeah, but I haven't got that many.
Yeah.
What if I'm on my own? What if I get separated and I'm in the dark?
When you get kidnapped by some.
Well, she might fly off as an eagle,
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that.
go somewhere else.
Yeah. If
Or
you,
a bat, if it's
you could
dark.
carry the
Well, hey,
hag's
what
eye.
happens doesn't all her gear kind of become part
Yeah,
of
but
it?
what she could
Yep.
do, she could throw the hag's eye on the floor, turn into an eagle, then pick up the hag's eye.
What, so she could use it while she's an eagle?
Yeah,
She wouldn't need to if she was a bat.
that's a good point.
I want to keep it.
The animal form debate.
Yeah.
Right, is there anything else you want to do?
I'll be one of those deep sea creatures.
An anglerfish.
No.
Nemo.
Just floating around.
I don't think there's anything Swido might want. I think he's already kitted out best he
Okay.
can.
Right, so note to everybody, you need to make sure that you rebuy your mundane stuff like
Oh, yeah.
tinder,
Tinderbox and stuff
food,
like that. Yeah.
water skins.
Rations, yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying water ski.
Yeah, water
What's
Well, I
the
lost
key?
5 sticks of incense. I'm not sure what I could use those for. And I lost my.
How does that work? So I can
There's
see I've
there
got.
when you get to a
water
really
skin tinder
smelly
box.
hole in the ground, you got to sleep in front
Yeah,
of
so
it.
it's
Just burn a stick of incense.
Pardon?
You're supposed to have lost
That's
all
right.
that.
Was I?
Yeah.
When?
So I was looking at. So I lost a prayer
Where
book, 5 sticks of
the
incense,
ship
vestments,
blew up
wand,
and
and
crashed.
I
Mars.
wasn't on the ship when the ship blew up.
That's
You
fine.
was.
Yes, you was.
Was I?
Yeah.
Oh,
Never mind.
Well, I think I said that you had your equipment because you
Yes.
was in your room. So you
oh,
was okay.
okay.
That's why you had
Ah,
your
okay,
starting
fair
equipment.
enough.
I still didn't lose it then.
Everybody else was not in their room.
Okay.
Should we do a deal where everybody rebuys all the stuff they had for like 500 gold pieces for everything?
100 gold would be enough for
Oh,
the
okay.
stuff that you start
For
with.
each
Fine.
person?
Yeah.
Or total?
No, each person.
Okay, that's fine.
So if you want to knock off 600 gold to rebuy the party starting equipment,
That's probably a good idea. Yeah. So anything that we got now, get back with 600 gold, Dave.
Yeah, I think we've spent all our money. Although we still have 3,000 silver and 70 platinum. How much is 70 platinum?
that's
700 gold.
There you go. So then it's
100
platinum.
change.
10 platinum left.
Yeah. Sounds good.
okay. All right. So shopping over, the afternoon wanes, and you, after facing off against the water element and the wind in between, the Hydra, the hobgoblins, the palanquin, and all the revelations that you've faced through your own personal timelines of what's been the last day or so of adventuring, you'll look forward to taking a long rest this evening before venturing forth to the docks of the terminus area of Sharn, and hopefully preventing the device from being installed on the Storm's Herald and somehow thwarting Taria's complicated scheme to get House Taganith and House Orion to the top of the political tree of the 12 dragon marked houses. So that's where we'll finish this evening's session with a long rest, and we'll pick up not in 2 weeks' time, but in 4 weeks' time. So that would be, what did I say, was 3rd of July, something like that.
Well, yeah, it's the first week of July.
First week of July, where it'll be session 10.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you everybody, and
Thank you.
good night.
Good night.
Bye.